Hello and welcome to the show. Now, when the idea of Super League Supermen was first mooted, we sat down and drew up a list of players we'd like to interview. One of the very first names suggested was tonight's guest. Fittingly, we get to speak to him days before he makes his long awaited comeback following a horrific injury suffered last September. Please welcome Hull KR's international centre, Chev Walker. He's chosen by the guest, Chev. Great to have you on the show tonight. Thanks very much for coming along. Chev, want to start from the start with you. Want to go back to your debut at Leeds, age 16 years of age. We spoke to Barry McDermott earlier on today. He said it was like getting changed beside a man-child. What are your early memories of playing for Leeds at such a tender age?
It was more a matter of fact that I was given a chance to play at Leeds, and I only went there with the thought of that I'd be playing in the academy, and then I was thrown in at the deep end really, and I just went from strength to strength, week in week out. They started giving me more time, and just thoroughly enjoyed it really.
Physically, Chev, you had the attributes. You're almost the same size then as you are now.
Yeah, definitely. I've only gained 7 kilos since the age of 15, so it's pretty freakish, but I suppose it's just the genetics.
15 years of age and 100 kilos.
Yeah, like Barry says, he used to call me the man-child. So.
You look like you could have been Barry's child, that size. Look, how was it going into such a dressing room full of such personalities at such a young age? I mean, before you made your debut, you must have been still at school.
Well, I'd just left school, and yeah, going into that changing room, it was obviously a little bit nerve-wracking, but I'm pretty positive-minded, and I always went by the thought that if I've been selected to play, then I'm good enough to be in there, and I was confident that I'd be able to do a job because obviously the coach has seen it in me that I'd be able to do it.
Well, the Leeds coaches identified the talent in you, and junior coaches have identified the talent in you. And again, very quickly after making your Leeds debut, they brought you into the international team. England hosted the World Cup in 2000, and you were chosen to play in that England World Cup squad, age 18 years of age, and making your debut against Australia.
Yeah, I was as shocked as anybody really with the inclusion of that. I'd only played 14 games when it was announced that I'd be playing, so I was a bit took back by it, but again, it was.
That can be nerve-wracking, Chev. You know, like you're getting chosen to make your debut against the best team in the world. What's going through your mind the night before that?
I don't really struggle with nerves, to be honest. Like I say, I go by the thought process that if I've been picked to play, then they obviously think I'm good enough, and I've only got to go out there and do my job for the coach and for the team, really. And I still stick by that now.
I think at the time Wendell Saylor made the comment, "How old is this guy?" You couldn't believe you're 18 years of age, putting in such a dominant performance.
I don't know about dominant. I was pretty steady. I just went out there, enjoyed it, did my role, and Wendell got to grips with me a few times and taught me a lesson or two. So I carry them memories from that time right the way through my career, and it's like anything; it's just an experience.
Did that give you confidence when you went back to Leeds? The fact that you were in international and you played a World Cup, and I don't mean cockiness. I just mean confidence in your own game.
Yeah, definitely. I've always been quietly confident in my ability and stuff. It just needs to be nurtured and brought out in me really. I'm not one to push myself to the front or put my hands up and say that I am the best or anything like that. But given opportunity, I'll try and grab anything with both hands and make the most of it.
Well, things were looking up for you. You made your burst through into the first team, as you said, at a young age. You played the World Cup, and Leeds started making some big finals. You know, the grand final was eluding him at that stage, but you were playing in Challenge Cup finals, and you in particular got to play in 2003 Challenge Cup final defeat. And it was a seminal moment in your career as well. You played and lost in that game, but Well, let's first of all, what are your memories of that Challenge Cup final loss?
Disappointment, really. We played pretty well. I was in the back row that day. We played pretty well. We started really well. We got ourselves in the position to win the game, and I think it was just a lack of experience at that time in the squad that we didn't actually know how to win the game. We had it won, but we didn't realise that we'd be able to close it off and get it finished.
Well, we've remarked on your size. You were big enough to play in the front row, but you were starting to make your name as a winger and stroke centre for Leeds, and scoring bucket loads of tries.
Yeah, yeah. I did start out as a winger. I never thought that I would be a winger. Played all my amateur as a forward, and then came to Leeds and started to obviously play in the centres in the academy, and then from there just things happened, and the personnel, I was lucky to play with some great halfbacks and actually.
Who stands out for you out of those, Chev?
Probably Andrew Doonerman, Kevin Sinfield, and then obviously the partnership of Rob Burrows and Dan Maguire. I benefited massively off that. Yeah,
two phenomenal players. As I say, you were establishing yourself in the team. You were scoring. You were in the international team. I want to go to an incident that might have shaped you. I'm going to let you tell us. I'll give the viewers a brief outline that you went to jail for public disorder offence, and yourself and a fellow teammate were sent down to jail. Ryan, what was that experience like? Sorry, Ryan Bailey was the other. Chev, what was that experience like for you?
The experience is obviously a life-changing experience. We was young, and we'd obviously made a mistake, as many people do. But I suppose being in the limelight, it magnified it a little bit more than what it should have done, really. And yeah, we was in the wrong, completely in the wrong. But for him to send us there, I just took it again as another challenge. Like anything in life, anything that's thrown at me, I try my best just to make the positive of it, and really just get on with it. There's nothing that you can change about it, and I take that experience from that. And the biggest thing that I got from it was that I'm able to deal with lots of things, and yeah, I was sorry for it, completely sorry, but I won't change it. It's obviously just something that was going to happen in my life. It's happened, and I take that experience from that into everything that I do, and it makes me more grateful for rugby league, to be honest, more than anything.
Absolutely, as I can understand. What I want to try and get an idea of is your career was just on the rise and on the up and up, and then of course this happens. What were your thoughts about your career? Did you think your career was over, or did you say, no, I'm going to do my time, come out bigger and better and stronger?
Well, definitely. I could have easily gone in there and moped around and felt sorry for myself, not trained. But I was lucky. Leeds stood by me, gave me regular visits. I had the support of my family and my friends. So I felt that I owed it to myself and to the club to come back and in decent shape, enough to play. And I played 10 days after being released, and that was just to say a big thank you. And then I went on after that pre-season to have probably my best season of my career.
You certainly did. How much training did you do, Chev? Like in preparation, is that what kept you occupied in those days?
Yeah, that. Mainly, I was able to go to the gym. I was lucky enough to be given the gym orderly job while I was there, so I kept myself in as good a nick as I could, obviously. And I just tried to push myself, to be honest, just so that I was in a decent enough shape to come out and play.
Well, like Leeds stuck by you, and you certainly did repay them. 2004, not long after coming out, you had an absolutely standout season to describe, and it culminated in a grand final win, the first one in years for Leeds.
Yeah, well, that's thanks to Tony. Tony Smith came along, and he had a good squad of young players there. That, like I touched on it there in the Challenge Cup just a year before, we was unable to win games. We won games, but we didn't know actually what we was doing to win the games. And Tony came along, give us the smarts, and we made a culture where we was able to go on and win things because of that. We had good habits and we worked for each other.
Chev, when you look at the happy memories of this, and it must bring back some great memories of that night in Old Trafford, did you ever, maybe not on that night, but shortly after that, reflect back to where you were maybe 12 months previous to that and think, well, this is it, I'm never going back to that?
Well, yeah, it's not a matter of going back to it, because I honestly never thought I'd go there in the first place. But yeah, I stood out on the field and I could hardly speak. It was just over a year before that, that we'd been released and stuff. So I stood out there and I tried to take it in. I was an emotional wreck, to be honest. Cried, emotions of happiness, sadness, just little bits of everything really. But yeah, it was a great night, and it capped off a great year and put the year before that real behind me.
Well, we've had a few of your teammates from that era on the show, and they talk with very fond memories about a special night at Old Trafford. How magical is it playing in that stadium in a grand final?
You can't explain it, to be honest. It's one of them experiences that everybody should be able to do, but they're never going to be able to. Not everyone's going to be able to do it. You don't really remember anything of it while you're playing. It's the aftermath and the week or so afterwards that it really soaks in, and you start to enjoy it and take it for what it is. And it is special.
Well, winning that special game allowed you to play in the World Club Challenge, and again, this must have been something that lit up your life.
Well, again, yeah, we had 11 players that had come through together as through academy right away into the first team, and to win it at Ellen Road on that special night, again, it's just a great achievement and a memory.
There's your mate Andrew Duneman, arm in arm.
There he is, the man.
So very special. Again, this was the time when I think Leeds they established themselves then in the Superleague, didn't they? I mean, after years of barren spells, and I think, was there a feeling amongst the squad at this stage? Well, this is it. We're here to stay in Superleague as a dominant force.
Well, that's it. I think they'd been building from as early as '99, when they was in the last grand final. But we didn't have that. We had the winning mentality, but not the smarts to know how to actually win. And then obviously Tony came and revolutionised. He just tweaked the good squad that was already there, really, but coached us to have a winning attitude, winning mentality, winning habits, to be honest. And it's probably not 2004 that made it. It's the year before that. 2004 was where we started to believe that we could go on and win stuff.
Well, you've subsequently left the Leeds club, but as I said, we've had some of your fellow teammates on from that period, and Kevin Sinfield was one of them. One of the questions we asked him about was Leeds' retention policy and managing to keep all these young players coming through. How important was that at the time that the team was made up of these 11 players?
Well, massively. A lot of us have been supporters of the club. We grew up together, we knew each other, we respected each other. It sounds like a bit of a cliche, but it was a family unit. We'd obviously matured as into adults together, and I just think the way that they kept us together was tremendous on Gary's part. Obviously, when we started to play for Great Britain and stuff, the salary cap does affect that, but Gary's very smart, and he's got a great squad there again, and it's still from that era. And
he has got a reputation for persuading players to stay for less money.
Well, that's it. I think when you're at a club like Leeds, it's got a great atmosphere. It's a great club, very well organised. So yeah, Gary's is a good bloke to have around, and he does look after that team and that squad.
Certainly a shoot up. We're going to leave the chat there for a second. We're going to now focus on one of Chev's teammates, one of the young up-and-coming stars. He's rough and tough, this guy. It's this week's shooting star.
Liam Watts will score! It's a try for Liam Watts!
This week's shooting star, like most rugby league players, spent time at an amateur club. I'm here at Castleford Lock Lane to meet one of its former players. He's Hull Kingston Rovers' exciting forward, Liam Watts. What challenges did you face earlier in your career?
I've faced a few really when I was at Cass. I wasn't training right, I wasn't playing right. I just wanted to go out a bit all the time and do with my mates, and that's where I went wrong down at Cass. And I had to sit down with my agent, Dave Howes, and he just says, you really need to get your head down and have a decent crack, and that's what I did, and I thought it was a good move to OK out of way everything, and just sort of not keep away, but sort of sort myself out, if to say, and that's what I did. Just playing, just getting out there and getting stuck in. It's always nice. I like it when it's physical and getting knocked about, and it just brings some out of me that some other things don't, and it just takes everything away when you're on that park and you don't hear much, and you just got them goggles on and you're just trying to do best. Last year with Daniel Fitzhenry, first training session, we come to training and he borrowed Mick Vella's car while Mick were back home in Australia and spray painted it all different colours, and Mick wasn't very pleased with that, so that come up in one of the team meetings and he wanted reimbursing for his new car.
Is there anybody in the Hull KR changing room that has superstitions?
Mickey Vella, he likes a lot of space to himself, so it's not very nice getting stuck at side of him because he's got a 10-metre area that nobody's allowed to step in, so you've got to keep away from him.
Probably needs space so he can do his hair.
Yeah, do his hair, yeah. Handsome, good dress sense, intelligent.
And I'm going to add a fourth one, deluded. Tell us the difference between the Hull derby and the West Yorkshire derbies that you've been involved in.
You've got all them derbies, you can say Wigan and Saints, but no, it's going to be as big as what Hull and Hull FC derby is. No matter what, it's always going to be a big occasion. And I've heard a few things off a few people, and some black and whites won't eat bacon on a morning because it's red and white, and vice versa, and it's always a big occasion, like I say.
And in the recent Hull derby, there was a bit of kiss, kiss, bang, bang. Tell us about that.
Ben Cockaigne always seems to be in the middle of it, and obviously when you see one of your teammates at it, you've got to get in there and sort it out. And saw young Sam Lattersey were getting a few, getting knocked about a bit, so I just went in to get him out of there and popped up, and big Sam Moore was there and he just let me have one, so I thought there's no down for this and just get stuck in. And I wish I wanted to done that because it's a steady 500 quid down, but these things happen, so next time it happens I'm just going to let them all get on with it and leave them.
He got 300 and you got 500.
Well, he pleaded guilty and I pleaded not guilty. I thought I'd get away with it, but obviously I was mistaken. But it doesn't help when Ben Cockaigne starts it and he's pleading not guilty as well, so probably made my charge look a bit worse than what it was. He's a good bloke, he knows what he's on about, and he's always there to get advice off, and even with me being a prop forward, he's always giving me advice. Obviously, we're travelling with him and that, he knows what he's on. He's been in game a long time, and it's been nice to play on park with him. I haven't played with him yet, and I haven't trained a lot really, obviously with his injuries. But I'm hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll be seeing him back and have a decent crack with him. And I hope to see him in front row with me. I know it's not his position, but we had a joke today in training about when he comes back he's going to be playing prop forward, so it'd be nice to play with Chev.
Yeah, one of the up-and-coming stars. 8 years of age when you made your debut for Leeds, Chev. How does that feel?
Old. Makes me feel real old.
Look, he's got a lot of potential, this young fella.
He has, yeah. He's tremendous talent. He works hard, he's started to work really hard at his game. And again, I think he's just starting to realise actually what a talent he is, and how to use his body really to best potential. And he's shown this year what a great player he is, and as long as he keeps working hard and stuff, his future's definitely going to be bright.
Well, absolutely. He might go all the way to the very, very top. And speaking of going to the top, you played at the very, very top of the international game, Chev. It gets mixed reviews, the international game, but surely there's no greater pride for a rugby league player, an English rugby league player, to represent England or to represent Great Britain and Ireland.
That's it. Again, it's schoolboy dreams, and then them schoolboy dreams become goals, and achieving them for myself was an honour. I'd have liked to have played more games than what I have, and I've still got the ambition to get out there and play on the international scene again. But yeah, they're great.
They're different
times.
games. They're tougher games.
The tougher games, yeah. Obviously, it's the cream of the crop, and there's a lot at stake really, and a lot of pressure around them games. Obviously, with sport in England and stuff, not really playing up to the potential. So every time you don the shirt, it's more added pressure, but enjoyable pressure.
Well, long way to continue, and we obviously hope for a bit of success with the boys. You've got some Hull KR players that will looking to make an impact down under at the end of this year.
Yeah, again, Watts is obviously a prime candidate. I'd back him to go out there and play. He's got something different about him. There's Peter Fox there on the wing, and Briscoe that definitely without a doubt should keep the form going until the end of the season, should get a call.
Well, at the stage of your career when you were starring in those international games, you had played, 183 games for Leeds. You're at the very, very top of your game, domestically and internationally. And then you made the decision to switch codes, Chev. First of all, tell us how the decision came about. How the option came about.
I'm not too sure how the option came around, to be honest. David Howes looks after me as my manager, and we spoke early in the year, and I said that I was looking for a new challenge. I started to feel like I'd become part of the woodwork at Leeds, and I was looking for a fresh challenge and a fresh start really, and the opportunity came to go down to Bath, and I took it with both hands. Coach Brian Ashton there was keen to get me down there, and I was keen to oblige.
Well, Bath was your destination down there, and initially, I know from speaking to you, initially you fell in love with the game and really enjoyed playing it, but things never really worked out for you down there.
Well, that's it. It was everything that I was looking for. Like I say, I was looking for a new challenge. There's no better challenge than learning a new game. So I went down there. I did enjoy it.
Did you get penalised for that aggressive tackle?
No, my arms are wrapped around there. But yeah, it was just one of those where I got really into it. First few months was keen, eager to learn, and then probably I got a lot thrown at me too soon. And not that I couldn't handle the pressure, I did enjoy the game. It was just a matter of added pressure really, just with all the England saga, and obviously with other rugby league converts that had not worked out, it did start to dawn on me really that I needed to get out of there.
Maybe dawned on you you were better suited to a game that, as I said, you had starred in, and you made the decision then to go back to league.
Well, that's it. It's the game that I love, game I know, and I was grateful for Rovers to give me the crack of coming back, and obviously injuries have stopped me from being able to perform and stuff, but yeah, I love the game, and like I say, I want to play it as long as I can.
And you went to a side with great ambitions. They just recently come up from the championship, and a very astute young coach, and they were building a great side. And for you, it must have been an exciting prospect to go there in a rugby league mad city.
Oh, exactly, that's it. And yeah, you're attracted by the derby, the ambition of the club, the fans. The fans are unreal. Best away supported team, and just the fact that they were aspiring to come up, and I wanted to get on board and be part of it. And you only have to look over the last few years, the progress that the club's made.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been wonderful. Tragically for you, Chev, just when you were on a run of consecutive games for Hull KR, you had a game again, ironically, in the playoffs against Leeds, and you suffered a horrific injury. We've had to show the sort of the PG-rated version of this injury, but what were your memories of this night, or the incident in particular?
Memories of the night really is a bit of shock, a bit of embarrassment, mainly because it was back at Headingley, and obviously you want to go back there and perform. Yeah, it was one of them. It's a horrific injury, but I'm at the mindset I'm strong enough to get over it. The minute I did it, the minute I was thinking about the day I want to get back, and people doubted. I got messages saying, "Oh, what a bad way to end your career and stuff," and it didn't annoy me, but it spurred me on to get through my rehab and prove people that I can get back.
Well, obviously it was a tragic night, but there's a couple of incidents in that night that stood out for me, and it was one of them was your ex-teammate Keith Senior, his reaction, and first of all, obviously calling the medical attention, and then he claims trying to calm you down, but you're telling me he was squealing like a pig.
Yeah, it made me panic, to be honest. He was squealing worse than me, screaming, "Don't look at it, don't look at it." To be honest, I was really calm, but it was a great effort by Keith to recognise what had happened and get the medical team on as quick as they did.
And the Leeds fans gave you a wonderful reception when you were being stretchered off.
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. Well, both sets of fans came together, and I suppose that's rugby league for you. And stupidly, I actually gave him a clap when I was on the stretcher going off. I don't know why, don't ask me why, but yeah, it's just one of that. They were brilliant to me.
We'll put it down to talk. Look, we haven't got time to talk about all those months, those hard slog months, but the good news is this weekend, the whole Kingston Rovers fans are going to get to see you in the Rovers jersey again.
Yeah, and I'm more than happy to say that I'm actually going to get out there and get a game in just to thank them for the support, and the club and the medical staff as well.
How does it feel for you personally, Chev?
Brilliant. It's like I'm back. It's 11 months to the day tomorrow that it happened, so I'm back within a year. I've achieved my goal, so just need to get out there Saturday and enjoy it. And
all those long months of rehabilitation and preparation, you're just going to break the shackles on the weekend.
Yeah, that's it. Well, as long as the lungs will last. Yeah.
Well, Liam Watts hinted that you might be playing prop. Is there any truth in this?
Yeah, I want to get in there and get the thick of action. Played there a bit last year, so why not get in there and just have a go.
I worry about you. 100 kilos at 15 years of age, 107 kilos now, and you're going to play prop.
That's it. Just getting a thick reaction.
Well, look, mate, it's been wonderful talking to you. You have a wonderful career. I mean, and I just wish you all the very, very best for the future. You're only 27 years of age. Get yourself back on the field, Chev, and all the best on the weekend. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll have a break next weekend. Join us in 2 weeks' time for another edition of Super League's Supermen. Goodbye.
More sport news.